Hey guys, let's talk about what it was like for us to buy a dog in Germany. Come on, let's go discuss.
Cheers, brother. Cheers. Cheers.
This here, here's the flight feathers. So we ended up going for the Labrador Retriever, blonde in color because it's contrasting color to the tick, and we've got loads and loads of ticks up here in the woods behind our house. On top of that, the Labrador is just historically known as a great family dog. Super, super smart, very easy to train, great temperament. Oh yeah, and not to forget the fact that they're amazingly intelligent. You know, in another past video, I mentioned that we were on a waiting list for about 2 years with a specific breeder, and I actually said that incorrectly. We've been actually waiting for 2 years from multiple different breeders, but the one that we actually ended up getting our dog Willow from, we'd been on a list for about a year. So a year passes, and then we finally get that phone call to set up a meet and greet. So this meet and greet is also kind of like a casual interview. It's an interview that we get to kind of conduct on the breeder, and the breeder also gets to kind of check us out and make sure that we're legit. Our puppy Willow came from a litter of 10. And typically a Labrador, when a Labrador has 10 puppies, it's a good indicator that that mom is actually a good and healthy dog. So healthy mom, healthy litter, and an absolutely amazing living environment. Super, super spacious, open air, nice little huts to live in, and you can just tell that the breeder loved her job and she loves dogs, that's for sure. So fast forward about 2 months and about 3 more puppy visits later, we finally get to bring little Willow home. On our way out, we were given loads and loads of advice from the breeder, to include all the documentation and a bunch of paperwork that comes along with this precious little bundle of joy. So we got an IMF pass, which is basically a vaccination pass or vaccination card to show her that she's up to date and anything in the future that needs to get done. Also, we have the pedigree booklet, which is actually pretty cool because I've never owned a purebred dog before, so this is very new for me. We come from a long line of mutt owners, and which is awesome, by the way. Mutts are great. And so this actually goes all the way back to her great-great-grandmother, which is really cool. And to be able to see the history kind of laid out like that is something special for me as well. And then also we get a chip ID number, which her chip is located in her neck. And then if she's ever lost or whatever, they can go ahead and scan that, and then all that information will be registered back to us, so hopefully we can get her back. So now on to what we paid for. Vodka in that thing. So her asking price for all of her puppies were 2,500 euro. We actually ended up getting our dog a little bit cheaper because before she came home, she had one final vet visit, and the veterinarian had noticed that there was a slight underbite. That was not a big deal from a health standpoint, but it was or could be considered a big deal in the world of pedigree, purebred dog breeding in the future. So the wonderful breeder knocked off 500 bucks, and so we ended up getting this beautiful little dog for a cool, cold 2,000 euro. So that's the price for the dog, and I know you can probably get them cheaper elsewhere, and I can guarantee you there's some other countries that you can get those dogs for like 600-800 bucks, but you gotta be really careful. Those are kind of potentially could be, it could be a bad place to buy a dog. Let's just leave it at that. So after palating that gnarly cost for a dog, we actually already had to do some pre-purchasing some supplies and whatnot before she came home. So we ended up getting a transport crate and slash kennel. So we're gonna kind of use it for both. We're gonna use it for the car, obviously, when we transport her, move her around with us, but 90% of the time it's gonna be stationed in the house, where she'll sleep in it overnight. Anytime that we're home, she'll definitely be out and about with us, but we do need to try to contain her as much as we can when she's not supervised, at least for right now especially. That crate ended up costing around 300 euro. We received a gift, a dog bed, actually a puppy bed, a really nice one actually, good quality. The cost of that would have been around 150 euro. So the food, raw meat, essentially. Not entirely a carnivore diet. She'll actually have all of her fruits and vegetables and oils and everything else and minerals and everything else that she'll be needing in that particular meal, but predominantly it's gonna be raw meat. And what they call it here is actually kind of funny. It's an acronym, but it's B.A.R.F, B.A.R.F. And that stands for Biologisch Artgerechte Rohes Futter. I think that's pronounced correctly. Or B.A.R.F. The cool thing is that I hunt regularly, and so far I was able to actually process a bunch of wild boar and a bunch of ray for her. Anything with the wild boar, I'm gonna cook. It's not gonna be raw. But with the ray, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. But definitely take my precautions with any wild pig. But you can also get the stuff on the economy, obviously, and you're gonna be paying about between 3 and 7 euro per kilo of organic B.A.R.F. And what's great about the breeder, when we did leave, she actually supplied us with a bunch of really cool information to include daily dietary needs, specific grams of this per gram of that, vitamins, minerals, and oils that she needs for her daily consumption. We also introduced dry kibble, dry meal for her as well, so she has a little bit more of a diverse diet. We're doing a lot of training, you know, what you can do for a 2.5-month-old puppy. She reacts really well to cucumber and broccoli. Instead of feeding her doggy potato chips or whatever, we're gonna try to keep her as healthy and happy as possible by feeding her some vegetables and some fruit. A few other essential things that we ended up getting was obviously leashes and a harness. There's a harness school and then there's a collar school, and I'm definitely on the harness school just because trying to walk around with her right now is obviously very difficult because she's not trained yet and she's getting there, but I'd rather distribute more pressure around her chest than around her neck. I mean, that's pretty much what it is for me. The leashes, it's really cool to have a short leash, helps you out to do some training to kind of keep her close with you, and then a little bit of a longer leash to allow her to kind of just freely roam when she's outside. And lastly, what's really, really important as well is some chewy toys. Outside of her sleeping between 16 and 18 hours a day if she's allowed to, which is really good, and actually you gotta let those puppies have their sleep time. It's kind of hard because they're so adorable and cute and you just want to play with them all day, but you gotta let them sleep. So outside of their sleeping, they're raising hell for sure. And so a nice little like deterrent, redirect toy, a couple different chewies, those really help out as well. So I mean, all in all, that stuff can run you between, you know, $5 or €5 here, €5 there. Leash is going to run you about 16 to 20 if you get a good one, and the harness will run you about €20. These little things start to add up, but obviously the biggest bulk is the dog, and then secondly would have been the transporter and the kennel. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I know I would like to watch something like this before I went ahead and went on the doggy purchasing adventure. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and for all those people that are interested in buying a dog in Germany, all the best to you. Have fun. It's a great adventure. There she is. Yes, a good girl. Yes, a good girl. Yes, you are. Wanna go?